Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome back to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. On our show today, we have Steve Sanders, the president of the Garden Grove Kiwaniland, here to share with you all the wonderful things the Kiwaniland does for our nonprofit, but just to also provide a safe and happy place for kids to thrive and grow. We would like to invite you to join them for their annual fundraiser, a very important fundraiser to make sure that Kiwaniland is available free of charge for a lot of nonprofits, but also, they can use a donation because it costs so much to keep it open. So the event is on the 18th of September from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Garden Grove Kiwaniland. Julie cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV đã theo dõi chương trình Kiến thức y khoa gia đình và xã hội. Hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Steve Sanders, là the president of the Garden Grove Kiwaniland. Hôm nay nói chuyện về cái công việc của Kiwaniland. Kiwaniland hy vọng tiếp tục giúp cho mấy trẻ em để cho một cái có cái trung tâm an toàn cho gia đình với trẻ em, với giúp được rất nhiều trung tâm phi lợi nhuận để cho giúp cộng đồng của mình. Hôm nay Steve muốn chia sẻ với mình là có một cái muốn giới thiệu với quý vị, với mời quý vị tới tham dự cái chương trình, đó là cái Kiwaniland Car Show Annual Fundraiser ngày 18 tháng 9 lúc 9 giờ sáng tới 2 giờ trưa. Đó là một cái thời gian để gây quỹ cho giúp cho cộng đồng của mình. Steve, the car show that you have, you mentioned that you can have over 100 cars there.
Yes.
And that everybody can, just donate $25. And that just helps you just maintain Kiwaniland, making sure that you have more opportunities to help nonprofits. Can you tell us a little bit about a few of the nonprofits or the troops, the Boy Scout troops that you help?
Well, we have several scout troops that are there. We sponsor Scout Troop 007.
Oh.
Just like the James Bond. And they meet every Tuesday night at the park. Another regular group is a scout troop from Santa Ana. They are there quite often. It's a very large scout troop.
Okay.
We have a couple of smaller ones from throughout the county that will come over there also.
Thank you. And what about the nonprofits? What are some of the few nonprofits that you've also helped out?
Your group has been there. There is a elderly Vietnamese group they have some mental issues. They come over about every month, and they use our area just as a calm place to paint. And some of their paintings are pretty nice that I've seen out there.
I've been there with Regional Center when they do their summer blast.
Yes.
And just to get all the adult with developmental disabilities to be out there too.
Yes.
And it's just a very open space, and as you mentioned, it's a gated facility of 3 acres.
Yes.
And there's only one in and out, so that means there's so much security and safety for those who are in there, especially those of us who work with people with disabilities.
Yes, and if you haven't been there, we have a covered picnic area that has about 20 picnic tables.
Okay.
And sometimes the groups will move the tables in and out and just arrange it to what's comfortable for them.
So can the community rent the space out for family functions or birthdays? Is that allowed, or is it primarily nonprofits?
It's primarily nonprofits.
Okay.
However, we do partner with a production company that if you have a corporation or if you do want a wedding, they will facilitate that.
Okay.
And they have the park during the weekends, during the summertime, and we receive a portion of the funds. And that's another way that we can keep the gates open for everybody else.
Well, thank you, Steve, for sharing all the work that you do and all the lives that you've touched in the community. Hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Steve Sanders. Steve Sanders nói đó là trong cái công việc của as a president of Garden Grove Kiwanis, Steve giúp rất nhiều trẻ em, but specifically là giúp về Boys and Girls Club, Regional Center, mấy cái trung tâm phi lợi nhuận mà giúp cho mấy người cao niên cũng có thêm đó là làm việc trong cộng đồng của mình, làm cái chương trình của cái Kiwaniland là cái park 3 acre. Cái đây là để dành cho giúp cho trung tâm phi lợi nhuận, mà cũng là một cái trung tâm lúc mà mình mướn cho đám cưới hoặc cái bữa tiệc nào cho corporate thì cũng có cái thời gian mà thiệt ra cái đây là chia sẻ và để dành cho giúp cho cộng đồng chứ không phải là làm ăn không. See, what I was saying is that this Kiwaniland is not a place where you guys are doing business per se. It's really a place where you're serving the community, serving our children, serving our seniors, serving, the future leaders in the community.
Yes.
And I think that's such a beautiful place to have that, with the whole foundation being able to provide this, it gives us nonprofits a place to go when we need to get our community together, or it gives us a place to serve because sometimes we don't have that in our budget to rent out a facility.
Correct.
So we really appreciate all that you do to make sure that our nonprofits stay open and our nonprofits continue to provide the service and the care for our community.
Oh, you're welcome. And we'll have to make sure we acknowledge the Hogue Foundation.
Yes.
Without them, the Kiwaniland would not be there. We could not afford 3 acres. The Boys and Girls Club, that is right next door, 3 acres.
Wow.
They have hundreds of kids there every day.
Yes.
The Lions Club, that is their meeting place. So it's the partnership that a lot of the Garden Grove nonprofits and the service clubs, how they interact is very unique, and I'm very proud to be part of, that portion of Garden Grove.
So we do have to thank the Hogue Foundation for all that they do,
Yes.
and they're just almost like a silent hero. Right? And we don't know about that.
They're very low-key group. They are very low-key, but they are very important, especially for those 3 organizations. And then if you think about how many organizations the Kiwaniland, how many we interact with.
Right.
Our monthly calendar, I have booking dates all over it. This entire week we have scouts there.
You mentioned that you even had a hard time, even as a president, to find a date for this car show.
I would prefer it in July or August. But when we did our first one 4 years ago,
Yes.
The end of September was the first available date. And obviously that was before the COVID. But that's how much we interact with the public and how many dates were booked out. This entire week we have scouts there. There are a few hundred scouts from countywide
Yes.
enjoying the park till 8 or 9 o'clock at night, up and through Friday this week.
Well,
I'm not sure what they're doing, but they're doing something there.
Well, thank you, Steve, and to the Hogue Foundation for making this available to all of us nonprofits and all of our families so our kids can thrive. Julie cũng cảm ơn hôm nay Hogue Foundation để giúp rất nhiều trung tâm phi lợi nhuận, mà đặc biệt giúp cho Kiwaniland, Garden Grove với Lions Club để cho một cái gian phòng để cho giúp cho cộng đồng của mình. Giống Steve nói đó là Kiwaniland giúp rất nhiều hỏi, mà thêm nữa giúp rất nhiều mấy trẻ em. Steve, can you tell us about the September event? Because I know we're going to go into commercial break, but why don't you give an invitation for them one more time? Because I'm hoping that your presence today will inspire people. First of all, if they don't have a classic car, they can still come to enjoy the event. But, if they do have a car, they can give a nominal donation of $25 to participate. Right. But I heard that there's food and, activities for the whole family. Last, before we go to the segment, invite them to your event.
Okay. September 18th, put it on your calendar. Kiwaniland, 4th annual car show in the park. The cars actually are parked out in our park. We're hoping for another 100 to 125 cars. It starts at 9 o'clock. At 10 o'clock, we have an official flag raising from the Scouts. We have barbecue, raffles, vendors. Even if you don't have an old car, come down, join the event. It's a good social interaction. The weather is always nice in September. Come enjoy yourself in the park.
Well, thank you, Steve. After the commercial break, we're going to continue our conversation.
Okay.
Cảm ơn quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV. Sau bóng gáo, chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với Steve Sanders, President of the Garden Grove, Kiwaniland.